a pledge of 10,000 crore rupees to promote initiatives in healthcare, education and skill development. The father of the group, Adani Group Chairman Gautam Adani, announced a unique gift ahead of his son Jeet's wedding. Jeet and Seva too pledged 10 lakh rupees per year to 500 Divyang married women a few days before they tied the knot. With this Mangal Seva as celebration, the Adanis have turned the idea of the big fat Indian wedding on its head.
I think it's an interesting example and it's an interesting trend because I think things have been going in some other direction. If you were to look at the last few years, the big fat Indian wedding has become bigger and fatter to the point where some would say it is obese. So I do think that there has been so much kind of the celebration, and of course it's a private matter, and everyone has an absolute right to celebrate as they see wish. But it's also a public statement, and I think one cannot shy away from that. And so when the public statement is one of unbridled excess, then that kind of sets an example, and I think it creates a downstream effect, which might be good for the economy in some cases, but in some cases it might be actually particularly difficult, and it might turn out to be ruinous for families that try to emulate, even if nowhere near the scale that we have been seeing. But even so, if they try and follow the same path, I think in that context, the idea of actually making a commitment towards philanthropy as a mark of celebration, I think is interesting, because I think it becomes another mode. It becomes another mode of kind of showing and demonstrating the fact that this is a happy occasion. And I think it sets an excellent example, because I think and given the fact particularly that in India levels of philanthropy have tended to be extremely low, I think in that context it becomes even more valuable.
I think weddings is an occasion where we can do seva. Birthdays, if I think about it, for people who have a lot of means, what do they need on a birthday? Nothing, actually. I don't want gifts. I'd rather have people give money away to charity. So I think these special occasions, especially for people who have a lot of means, they should really not be asking for gifts, but focus on doing their own personal, saying that they'll give away some money. But even instead of gifting, switch it, pick a non-profit, have people contribute to the non-profit. It's a nice gesture. And I think that could apply to all segments of society.
In the world of corporate India, where money is aplenty, the pivot to philanthropy must become a trend, say experts.
I think more thoughtful kind of gestures of this kind, I think, are what corporate India needs. I think every corporation looks to its own interests also, but this is something that works in both in the corporation's interests as well as in a societal interest. So I think here's a win-win. Here's something where there's nobody who could possibly have a problem with this, because I think it does the corporate no harm in terms of reputation. But more than that, I think it becomes a way of actually distributing one's joy with many, many more people. And I think that's what those celebrations are fundamentally about a distribution of joy.
The joy of giving is above the joy of getting. The Adani family has just proven that to the world.